Mr. Torbjørnsen was a Norwegian representative contributing to the formation of the Scandinavian chapter October 8, 1951. In the beginning, the countries had joint conferences and the Scandinavian countries took turn in hosting. During a banquet on a Sunday evening in Norway, there was no wine served with the dinner due to the Norwegian politicians' need to restrict its population's access to alcohol. Needless to say, Norway only hosted once. As more members joined the Scandinavian chapter and due to long travel distances between the Nordic countries, it was decided to establish country-based chapters. On a sunny day in June 1964, IIA Norway chapter was founded, consisting of 37 members. But it was not until 1993 we became a national institute, Norges Interne Revisorers Forening, with 250 members. The tradition of internal auditing in banks has a long history in Norway. The banking auditors founded their organization in 1921 called Norges Bankrevisorforening, and it lived alongside with IIA Norway for many years. In 1992 came the banking crisis and many people were laid off, as was the case for many internal auditors in banks as well. Both organizations lost members and it became challenging to maintain a solid professional environment. Since many members were members of both organizations, the seed of merging were planted. But it took several years growing the seed, so the merging of the organizations did not happen until 2005. Numbers of members in IIA Norway then rose by 102. With a steady membership growth and the demand for systematic training, the board decided to establish a permanent secretariat. In the beginning of 2005, Svein Stabæk was hired, and in September, Frank Alvern, known to many, came along as the first Secretary General. The institute, as we know it today, started to form. 2 years later, Ellen Brattås took over when Frank left. Svein and Ellen are still there after 14 years. First came the networking group financial sector, and today we have networking groups for the government sector, IT audits, chief audit executives, risk management and compliance and ethics. The networking group consists of very dedicated members who arrange networking meetings, webinars, courses, seminars, writing articles and guidance. Today, IIA Norway is promoting good governance, and we have opened up to and included other professions such as risk managers and compliance officers in addition to internal auditors. For the past years, our engaged volunteers have written guidelines for governance, the compliance function, and the risk management function. These guidelines are sector-independent guidelines, free for anyone to download from our web. The internal audit standards are, of course, one of the most downloaded documents, which we translated into Norwegian for the first time in 2002. We also have dedicated committees for our national conference, competence, media, methodology, and external quality assessments. For the emerging risks and trending topics in example use of data analytics and artificial intelligence in audits, we have a dedicated LinkedIn group for sharing experience. We encourage all members of the Nordic countries to join, as this is a great example of progress through sharing. When the Scandinavian chapter was established, there was a strong need for educating internal auditors, and the cooperation between the Scandinavian chapters was the predecessor to the diploma in internal auditing, which we still offer in Norway. In 1992, training was transferred to the Norwegian Business School, endorsed by the global IIA, who even granted the training a compensation of $15,000. The Master of Management program called Governance, Risk Management, Compliance and Internal Audit is led by Professor Flemming Ruud. And by the way, Professor Ruud was granted the title Educator of the Year in 2002 by Global IIA. Today, 519 people hold the title Diplomert Internrevisor, compared to 178 people holding the global certificate CIA. To modernize or perhaps make IIA Norway more in line with the norm of younger people today, we changed the title for our president to chair a few years back. We also stopped nominating members to the Members of Honor, as we have so many dedicated members helping the profession to progress. It is hard to mention everyone. However, these are the 5 honorable members of today: Knut Løken and Birger Moi, Trygve Sørli, Frank Alvern, and Solbjørg Lie. If trying to conclude, the profession has evolved much in 70 years. However, that remains the same is the membership engagement, the need to network and exchange ideas and have a great time with other members. Okay, perhaps the format has changed somewhat. Here exemplified by the dancing crowd singing out loud how internal auditors will peek through your drawers when you are not there, putting out traps for all employees. No one is safe because internal audit will always get you in the end. And this is IIA Norway's own boy band named Wrong Direction, consisting of 4 chief audit executives performing live for the first and only time at our annual conference 2 years ago. It was a huge surprise and a great success. It's difficult to summarize 70 years in 5 minutes. There is still many histories to be told. I would like to take this opportunity to thank each and everyone who have spent their time on IIA Norway and contributed to the evolvement of our institute and the profession. However, the future is today, and IIA Norway looks forward to further Nordic cooperation between the institutes benefiting all members.